It's Saturday morning. I hope you got to sleep in this morning. It's a foggy day here in Sacramento. Actually, it's quite beautiful. I've taken a walk down to the coffee shop, Temple Coffee. Every morning I go to Temple. But anyway, we're talking about the Emerald Tablet of Hermes and the invocation of the Holy Guardian Angel. Now, this is something that this is part two of this talk. Originally, I wrote the essay for to be included in Chicken Tabby Cicero's The Golden Dawn Journal many years ago, and it was published in 1995. Okay, so that was before many of your grandparents were born, I'm sure. But anyway, I was pretty proud of the piece. And a couple of years later, when I was publishing an anthology of 7 of my favorite essays with the good folks at Weiser, uh, under the title Angels, Demons, and Gods of the New Millennium, I included it in that too. So if you would like a full copy of this and you don't mind uh, kindly supporting my work, go to Amazon or Barnes and Noble or something and order yourself a copy of Angels, Demons, and Gods of the New Millennium by yours truly. And you'll have this whole essay and the graphs and charts and everything right at your fingertips. How much would you pay for something like that? Don't answer. There's more. Well, anyway, so I'm going to continue that today because it's a very interesting subject, especially anything concerning the nature of and the meanings, the personal meaning of what the Holy Guardian Angel is important to many of us. So, uh, without further ado, I'm going to continue where we left off yesterday with the essay, where I'm actually going to now dissect the Emerald Tablet uh, verse by verse and commit an exegesis on each of those uh, stanzas as it relates to the Holy Guardian Angel and the invocation of the Holy Guardian Angel. But I'm going to start by reading an end note, just discussing what text that I'm using for this. The Emerald Tablet of Hermes, by tradition, is the first revelation of God to man. The Emerald Tablet of Hermes Trismegistus was said to be 2,000 years old at the time of Christ. Reportedly cast in liquid emerald by alchemical means, its raised letters outlined in 13 short sentences the universal operation of the cosmos. Authorities may debate the historic veracity of this legend, but the document stands as a consummate distillation of Hermetic thought, outlining not only the process of the transmutation of base metals, but also the regeneration and liberation of the human soul. Now, the versions I used for the purposes of this essay are those of Manly Palmer Hall's Lost Keys of Freemasonry, a beautiful little book. It's tiny. It's so, you get it. And then I give the publishing information, Richmond, Virginia, McCoy, 1968, and General Albert Pike's Morals and Dogma, Charleston, So those are the English language texts that I use to commit my exegesis. So I'm going to start right off. The secret work, which is called Hiram Talat Mechasot. I'm going to spell it because I have no idea how it's pronounced. But it's Hiram, as in Hiram Abiff of the Masons. C-H, or it's probably spelled with a Hebrew chet. Chet. Hiram Talat Mechasot, M-E-C-H-A-S-O-T, or Hiram, the universal agent, one in essence, but three in aspect. That's the thing. And that's just the heading. That's just a little doodad at the beginning. Here is the first verse of the Emerald Tablet of Hermes. No lie, certain, and to be depended upon, that the superior agrees with the inferior, and the inferior with the superior, to effect that one truly wonderful work. I'll comment later. Next verse. As all things owe their existence to the will of the only one, that's capitalized. All things owe their existence to the will of the only one. So all things owe their origin to the one only thing. All caps. The most hidden by the arrangement of the only God. We'll discuss those three things later. Okay. Next. The father of the only one thing is the sun. Its mother is the moon. The wind carries it in its wings, but its nurse is spiritus, earth. That one only thing, after God, is the father of all things in the universe. Next, its power is perfect after it has been united to a spiritus earth. Next, separate that spiritus earth from the dense or crude earth by means of a gentle heat with much attention. Next, in great measure, it ascends from earth up to heaven and then descends again, newborn on the earth. And the superior and the inferior are increased in power. Thou shalt by this means possess the glory of the whole world, and therefore all obscurity shall flee away from thee. This is the potent force of all force, for it will overcome everything subtle and penetrate everything solid. In this manner, the world was created. But the arrangements to follow this road are hidden. For this reason I am called Hiram Telat Mesathot, one in essence but three in aspect. In this Trinity is hidden the wisdom of the whole world. It is ended now what I have said concerning the effects of the sun. Okay, that's a straight shot of the Emerald Tablet of Hermes. 13 sentences. And here is what I guess a much younger 1984 or 1994, is that when it was? Hang on. Yeah, 1994 or 5 when I wrote it. So I was 12 years old then. Okay, here we go. For the sentence, it is true and no lie, certain and to be depended upon that the superior agrees with the inferior and the inferior with the superior to effect that one truly wonderful work. Now, let me digress for a second. This is the verse that gets encapsulated in the simple sentence, as above, so below. Okay, and Kabbalists have this thing, and I'm sure I'm going to discuss it later here, have this thing that Malkuth, or the kingdom, earth, is in Kether, or the crown, or Godhead. So Malkuth is in Kether, and Kether is in Malkuth, only after a different manner. Okay, those two things, big secrets in those two things. And the Emerald Tablet, it is true and no lie, certain and to be depended upon that the superior agrees with the inferior and the inferior with the superior to effect that one truly wonderful work. Can't you just see the repeating patterns of fractals in that? But I digress. And it's Saturday, and I know you want to get on to do fun things on Saturday, so watch cartoons. It is written in Genesis 1:27. Quote, this is Lon talking here, okay. Quote, so God created man in his own image. In the image of God created he him. Male and female created he them. In the Sefer Zenudata, tells us that, quote, before there was equilibrium, countenance beheld not countenance. The vast countenance is hidden and concealed. The lesser countenance is manifested and not manifested. When he is manifested, he is symbolized by the letters Yod, He, Vav, He. Now I know some of you are already, light bulbs are going on over your head, especially if you're familiar with and are a fan of the Tao Te Ching and the opening words of the Tao Te Ching. But that really is a digression. So I'm just going to repeat this last. Before there was equilibrium, countenance beheld not countenance. The vast countenance is hidden and concealed. Hidden and concealed. The lesser countenance is manifested and is not manifested. When he is manifested, he's symbolized by the letters of Yod, He, Vav, He, the Tetragrammaton. Unquote. Okay, the vast countenance is the macrocosm, the big world, abode of deity and to some extent deity itself. The lesser countenance is the microcosm, the little world, the emanations and expressions of deity. Upon the lowest end of the microcosmic scale is found the material universe and human beings. After balance was achieved early in the creation scenario, these two countenances, the superior and the inferior, beheld or reflected each other. The two Kabbalistic texts quoted above confirm the Emerald Tablet's opening statement and reveal a universe of repeating patterns. Like the keyboard of a piano, the notes that make up the worlds above us have their counterpart in our lower octave. The superior agrees with the inferior, and the inferior with the superior. As above, so below. There are numerous ways the Kabbalistic texts attempt to illustrate the relationship of the macrocosm and the microcosm. Some defining the microcosm as all 9 emanations or sephiroth below Kether, the first sephirah, the crown of the tree of life. Some, or others, view the 10th sephirah, Malkuth, kingdom, as the microcosm, and the next 6 sephiroth above Malkuth as the macrocosmic world. It is a curious characteristic of Kabbalistic thought. Remember this, gang. It is a curious characteristic of Kabbalistic thought that both of the above definitions and a wide assortment of others can be considered simultaneously true. Keeping the first statement of the Emerald Tablet in mind, we could even venture to say that every plane of existence is a macrocosm in relation to the plane beneath it, and a microcosm in relationship to the plane above it. For the purposes of this little essay, I will use the terms as they are most commonly applied to modern ceremonial magic. Okay, so make note of this. For the purpose of this essay, the microcosm is characterized by the magical formula of the 4 elements fire, water, air, earth, ruled, vivified, bound together, and separated by the quintessential element, spirit. The number 5 is a particularly suitable glyph of the microcosm, for it expresses the magical formula which sustains the elemental world. In the Holy Hebrew alphabet, the number 5 is expressed by the letter He. For the purposes of this essay, we'll define the macrocosm is characterized by the planetary formula and the number 6. It is graphically illustrated as the sun surrounded by the 6 planets recognized by the ancients. These heavenly wanderers, which travel across the belt of the zodiac, represent a higher order than that of the elemental world and were seen by the ancients as living components of the body of God. The Hebrew letter enumerating to 6 is Vav. Man and woman, man/woman, is the highest expression of the microcosm, and God is the highest expression of the macrocosm. To bring the microcosmic 5 into perfect alignment with the macrocosmic 6 is the great work accomplished, and the spiritual goal of all seekers of enlightenment. But how do we go about uniting the 5 and the 6? Let us start by examining the second statement of the Emerald Tablet. Hang on, let me look at the... Let's see, I'm just going to check here. I think it will be best, we've already gone over 20 minutes, I think it'll be best if we pick this up for Sunday school tomorrow. because I don't want to really break up the next section too prematurely. Okay, remember, we're reading from my essay in the Golden Dawn Journal and a chapter from Angels, Demons, and Gods of the New Millennium. So, got a busy day ahead of us here, mostly gardening work and things like that. We're trying to literally lift up the elevation with good soil in the back, so Constance can have a wonderful garden, hopefully. Anyway, that's it for Saturday. Class dismissed. If you're in the Sacramento area, by the way, in December, I'm going to do a little bookstore appearance. I'm going to play a few songs, and I'm going to talk about tarot. And it's at the East Village Bookshop. I can walk over there and do. And it's free, and it'll be a fun little event. Friday, December 17th. I'll talk about it some more, but it's a Friday evening at 7 o'clock. And if you're a Sacramento area person, please stop in and say hello, and I'll try to sing a song for you and talk about tarot. Anyway, continue to be good to yourself and be good to each other. Do what thou wilt shall be the whole of the law. Love is the law, love under will. See you tomorrow for Sunday school.